Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I'm going to share with you some thoughts from a recent live event. This is a clip and you can see the whole thing on my YouTube channel, but this is a excerpt that will address my conviction about card prices within Splinterlands, both past and present and those to come, as well as maybe pushing back on some of your theories about what would it take for card prices to really move. The problem isn't what you think it is. I think I've got a solution that's viable, reasonable, and feasible, and I'd like to discuss it with you today. I hope you'll stick around and hear that. And if this one's not for you, then check out the next video. Guys, have an awesome day. God bless. Gathering went on to say many rebellion cards moving up, especially the common summoners. Yeah, when we were talking about this gathering probably 90 days ago, $80. I think I might have bought some of my common summoners for $60. Let's have a quick look at that. If I go into my cards, summoner, common, rebellion. It's lagging. Let's hit refresh first. Peak monsters. Oh, here we go. Okay, summoner, rebellion, common. So let's go like this. We'll BCX. So my max Dolfar, I bought for $69.90. It's currently selling for $120. My max gold foil brewmaster. Look at this nuts. This is nuts. My max gold foil brewmaster, I bought for $75. I want that to sit in a little bit, guys. I did videos talking about this with Gathering, by the way, saying that they are being overlooked, that these price points are ridiculous. I'm going to show you now where we're at. Buy Rebellion Gold Foil Common Brewmaster. I paid $75 for this card. And today, if you wanted to buy another one, first of all, you can't. You can't. It doesn't exist. But if you wanted the 27 units that are on the marketplace, the 27, which brings you to level 9, not level 10, you're going to pay $117. I paid $75 for a max copy. So, even to go 4.34 times 38, which again, these are not available. You can't buy them. It doesn't matter if you want them, you can't buy them. 4.34, and if you could buy them, the price for the last 11 BCX would be higher than this. But if we go like that, $164, and I bought it for $75. We talked about this before. We saw it coming, myself and Gathering, and maybe many of you did. We talked about it. We said, guys, it doesn't make any sense. The gold foils were cheaper than the regular foils. Cheaper. Or as cheap as. It doesn't make any sense. And they're good summoners. I feel like also, by the way, that narrative began to shift almost like through my and Gathering's conversations. I think these dual Splinter summoners were laughed at, were ignored, both from a sale value price perspective, also from a play perspective, until we started being like, guys, what are you talking about? These are solid. They work in a lot of situations and circumstances. The 3 mana is very viable. The two summoner Splinter opportunity is an ability. Nobody was talking about that stuff. And then we started talking about it, and then these prices went up, like doubled. And I do think the same thing is still happening with respect to some Rebellion assets, as well as some broader conversation Splinterlands assets. Like, it's not just Rebellion that has this sort of feature where we sometimes overlook it as a community, its functionality and its impact. Man, Lux Vega. I don't love Lux Vega, but if we are looking at, check this out. This will be like a bit of a shout out to anybody who, I don't have a Lux Vega. I'm not going to buy a Lux Vega right now, just so you know. But I would say Lux Vega for $325, which I saw last night, at $327 for this one, $350 for that one, and $350 for that one. Like, all of these, I consider that a deal. Like, if I was sitting on a good chunk of money, I'd buy all 8 of them, all of them. Why? Because I do believe in Splinterlands long term. I do think this card is exceptional. I do think the neutral element, makes it super powerful. Obviously, it does. It's an excellent card, and in the context of believing in what the team is doing, I absolutely believe that, where is it? Rank play. I absolutely believe survival is going to thrive. I do think it's going to persist. I do think it's going to be a huge component of what Splinterlands offers and how it grows. I think this is an exciting next thing. And having multiple copies of great cards is going to be really meaningful. Now, could you do something better than that for $300 or $400 per unit? Sure, maybe you could. Like we talked about some of these Conclave cards or some of these other Chaos Summoners, like, you know, instead of $300, you come over here and buy yourself all these Immortalises, all 25 of them, and you're paying $30 a pop. That's a great price. I bought a bunch of these a few months ago. I bought, if I could quickly show that. Like, so I'm saying like multiple copies of really great cards is always wise. And I do think we're standing on the edge of something special with this game, with this cryptocurrency moment, and with more specifically what survival is and how it might grow. I know that there's a bit of a timeline on survival because we have the SPS funding is coming from the team, I think, but this seems like it's a winner. This seems like a real winner, and I can't see how this wouldn't be something that sticks around and continues to grow what Splinterlands is. So that means sort of deep card supplies are wise. Maybe it's not Lux, but I think $300 for Lux is pretty reasonable. Maybe it's leaning in on these Chaos Legion cards because people are still sleeping on Chaos because they're thinking, one, there's too many of them, and two, it's leaving Modern soon. I mean, I stand by it, man. These cards are not, there's not too many of them. There's just too few of us. And I think if those two problems were equal size, then you could say my point is meaningless. But listen closely. Those two problems are different sizes hugely. Look at it this way. Chaos Legion supply is massive compared to every other set in Splinterlands. That's a really big problem. And a lot of you guys fixate on that big problem. And you say like, this is ruined the game, or, you know, it whatever. There's so much negative sentiment around that. It seems in your mind or in your words, it's a massive problem. Now compare that quote unquote massive problem to the solution, and let's measure how big that is. If there was 500 new people that wanted to buy a deck of cards, to spend a couple $1,000s, you would evaporate the Chaos Legion supply. If there was 10,000 people that were serious about the game, you would there's zero way we keep up. Immortalis is one of the best summoners in the game. There are 25 copies of this card on the marketplace. You know, and I know if once these sold, others would fill in, but the price wouldn't be $2.40 or $6.50 anymore. I'm saying these prices are ridiculous for these quality of cards, and they're only this low because most of you are sleeping on them, and most of you don't want multiple copies, and most of you think the Chaos Legion will never go up, and most of you think that Splinterlands will never find solutions for older cards. And you think, as I was talking to Jangles last night, he said something in my conversation with him. He said, we all thought wilds were cards went to die. And I interrupted him after, well, no, I let him speak, but I ultimately said to him, like, no, man, that's not what I've thought. It's never what I've said. It's never what I believed. And I think we've been in this prolonged bear market since 2021 when card assets went soaring, when Splinterlands last had a bull market. And since that moment, we've always said, oh, things only go down. Yeah, things only go down in a bear market. But once you go to the bull market, they no longer go up. And by the way, some of you people who have been saying they only go down out of that sentimental reflection of how they've been going down, you may be the same people that when they start going green, when they start multiplying in value, when they start appreciating wildly, if that happens, you may be the same person who then says it'll never go back down. This time's different. And you gotta get off that ride, guys. Assets go down during bear markets and they go up during bull markets. The question is, do you believe in the long-term value and appreciation of these things from the context of what I often say, is the game fun and does it have a future? Do you believe in the future and the fundamentals of what Splinterlands is? Do you believe in the team and what they're aiming at? Do you think that the targets and their goals are possible, reasonable, feasible? And And as I start to shrink down the problem, I'm not even shrinking it. I think I'm accurately reflecting the solution, rather, not the problem. The solution is growing the player base. Many of you want to say the problem is too much card supply. I'm saying the solution to that quote unquote massive problem is more players. And I think it's this tiny solution. Like it's 500 people. It's 5,000 people. It's not 50,000 or 5 million to eat up Chaos Legion. There's like literally 5,000 max Chaos Legion decks. And I know the cards will never all be maxed, but we aren't talking about 5 million new players to gobble up Chaos Legion. We're probably talking about 100 to 1,000. And I think we could conceivably see thousands of new players. And therefore, I'm confident even in Chaos Legion. Ank, good to see you, pal. Yeah, dude, thanks for the word. And yeah, guys, if you enjoy the content, if you're still loving Splinterlands, let me know. It's good to see the views. It's good to see you guys hanging out. And I'm actually gonna maybe head out and go for a run now that I see it's already 11:15 and my kiddo's gone. And so I'll get out and go for a run. This will be a last little personal note before we wrap. This year I've got some big goals. I'm gonna try and run a marathon in July to raise funds for this cause that I'm really passionate about. And I started the year off at 240 pounds, and I've already lost 12 pounds, but I think probably I'll be closer to 200 by the end of this year. I've got some big goals. And then we got our new son, who, by the way, the paperwork came through and he's ours. We adopted him like last week, like officially. Like it was always, in my mind, it was always official. He's been with us for 8 months. But it was like, it's legal, it's official, he's ours as of last week. So that's really cool. And then we got travel plans. We're going here and there with the family. We're trying to imagine like what it would look like to go on a mission trip. There's lots of cool things happening in the Cunningham household. And I think 2025 is going to be a really special year professionally for myself, my wife, as well as just for the family and the personal stuff, and some of these big goals for fitness and for fun. And I think Splinterlands is a piece of like that fun and that joy. I'm super excited about where we're at. And I think there's a lot of reason to be excited, not because of hope, not because of, rose-colored glasses, because of the cryptocurrency market in this moment, as well as the cyclical nature of crypto, as well as Splinterlands positioning itself in an effective place, in an effective moment, as well as Matt and the team actually having taken steps recently and aiming for better steps moving forward. These are fundamental considerations that one can weigh and you should weigh, so that you can come to that closer understanding for yourself, whether this is in your mind fun. And in your mind, does it have a future? Because those are the foundational concerns that anyone should take on when they get into what ultimately is investing in a cryptocurrency blockchain-based video game. I think of it as investing. I don't think of it as gambling. I think of it as investing. It's not speculation. It's investing, because there's thoughtfulness that comes into how I do it, when I do it, why I do it, and the confidence that I have for tomorrow. And so, I hope that's valuable, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm glad you came to hang out today, and I will do another live next week. That will be for members only. I will do 3 new videos next week, and I'll try and keep to that at minimum, and we'll see where time allows for even more. But yeah, guys, you're awesome, and I hope you have an amazing day. And if you like the content, dude, drop the like before you head out. Have an awesome day, guys. Bye. God bless.